Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new video and this is a flip through. I finished my Winona album. This is a 6x8 flip book from Simple Stories. And when I was doing the last video for this, I thought, oh, I've got like 5 or 6 layouts left, so those will go up as videos. Turns out, nope. I sat down to work on something and I ended up finishing everything that was left. It just went really quickly. And so I thought, well, I'm going to use that momentum and get it done. So here it is, finished, and you'll get to see it in its entirety. All right, my opening page I had done a long time ago. I think it was maybe more than a year from when I did the opening page to when this is finished, because I did it as part of a collaboration hop type thing that I was doing on YouTube. And so I did the opening page and then I kind of forgot about it and I didn't touch it again for a long time. So normally that's not the way it works, but that's the way this one happened. But you can see I just used a screenshot of our route that we took, did some little embellishments. I kept this one really simple, or at least tried to. So I just have a puffy sticker, regular geotag there, some phrase stickers, super simple, but I like that. I'm trying to go more that direction, I think, because I need to keep things less bulky. Otherwise, my albums tend to end up like this. They look like a duck bill because they won't close because they're too full. So this layout shows our first stop of the day, which was St. Stan's, one of the most well-known churches in Winona. It's actually a basilica. And I had seen it from the outside before, but this was the first time I actually got to go on the inside. And what an experience. If you're ever in Winona, I highly recommend it. Even if you're not a person of faith, I'm not, but I enjoy the art and the architecture. You will find it quite lovely, I'm sure. So we went around the outside first. And so I have some shots of that. I just did my own little pocket here. I used my fuse tool to put in the sequins and then seal it shut. Over here, again, pretty simple, just basic journaling card, just a phrase label there, did some small stamping puffy sticker. That's it, called it good. So then we move on to the inside, and so you get some great interior shots here. Look at that. I wish in hindsight that I had thought about this ahead of time about the album I might use, because had I done that, I may have taken a vertical photo instead, knowing that in order to fit into a 6x8 it would be easier, but I didn't, and so I had to use an enlarged horizontal photo, and then I just had to cut off the ends a little bit. Here's another shot of the interior, and this one I did get a nice vertical shot, so I was able to enlarge that. Just did a thin border around it, and I love the way that that came out, and the fact that there were non-traditional colors in here, which I appreciate. It gave me a lot more leeway in what I could do when I was scrapping them. So as you can see, I ended up with colors you might not normally associate with a basilica. Pink, turquoise, yellow. These are generally not things I would use, but it worked for this. And I really love this, just doing sequins on a diagonal. It is kind of a pain when you have to fuse that close, but I will continue to do it because I've done it, I think this is twice now, and I really like the way it looks. It's very interesting to the eye, something different as people are flipping through the pages. So I will try it again. And then on the other side again, just some phrase labels, very simple embellishments. Here's another phrase here. This was the end of a piece of paper I think I had already that already had the corners rounded, if I remember right. So I just stuck that on because it worked well there. Little puffy dot, that's it. And I just happened to get lucky with this card that it had all of the colors that were already in here. This layout was when we were on our way out. And so you can see these were the stained glass pieces that were above the main doors. And the sun was shining through them, so they came out very well, especially this one. And I wanted the focus to be there, so I just used 3 little chipboard phrases down here. I did some ink splattering. This is another chipboard sticker. I think this is from Ellie's studio. I don't know about this. These might be Citrus Twist. I can't remember for sure. But I had them all on hand. I didn't have to order anything special. I just used what was already in my stash, and it turned out well. once we were done at St. Stan, we went on to our next stop, which happened to be St. Mary's. This was not on our original itinerary for the day. We just happened to find out, oh, there's another church nearby that is supposed to have some stained glass. And just as a reference point, Winona is known for stained glass. They had artisans there and special factories that produced it, and so it pretty much is in all the churches there, and it's just kind of a thing, and so it's everywhere around town. And we decided, well, since this one is fairly close, why don't we just go and see that one too? And as you can see, it was worth it, because look at these beautiful, beautiful windows. And this one in particular, when we pulled up to it on the outside, we were like, oh, is this going to be good? Because it really didn't look like much from the outside. It just shows you that it can be deceiving, because once you're inside and the light is coming through, look at how gorgeous these were. There are some more there along the side. And I love that they were all, they all had the arch here, which makes them a little bit more visually interesting. And I used an acrylic piece here. Again, though, very simple. These are all things that I just had, everyday kinds of things laying around, and it worked with all of the different photos that I had. So when we left here, again, there was another church in the area. And so we thought, okay, that was not that far either. We don't really know anything about it, but we'll go over there and take our chances. The only bummer about this one was people were not allowed on the inside. They had greatly reduced their access due to COVID. And so I think it was only like 2 days a week or something that you could get in there. And so seeing the interior was not an option, sadly. I hope to go back when it's fully open so I can see it. So all of my pictures from this are only from the exterior, but it's still gorgeous. I mean, look at that. So this was one where I did get a good vertical shot, and I decided to actually go a full 6x8 to really showcase that fabulous architecture above the door there. It reminds me of chapels and churches I have seen in Europe. So I'm definitely down with that kind of architecture. And then here, I did this layout actually not that long ago. I skipped around a lot in this album, but this one I finished fairly recently and ended up having 2 cards in it, which is unusual. Normally I'd probably have 3 photos there, but I didn't have a third one that I thought really went with the rest of this, so I kept it to 2. And then this is on the side of that. There's it's almost like a quad, like a college would have in the middle here. And so we walked around there a little bit. And then there's this big tower on the side. That was fun to see. And then this is a side door. Again, look at this fabulous archway. Had to showcase that. But again, kept it simple. One little asterisk. That's, is that puffy or epoxy? Not sure. And then just a phrase sticker, and that's it, because it's beautiful on its own. So these layouts show us walking around the grounds. This is one of my friends here that I was with, and it was May 1st, which is also my birthday. So this was an extra special little day trip because it fell on my birthday. But because it was early spring, I wanted to just put some flowers in there, even though there really wasn't much blooming at the time that we saw. I like the phrase, Mayflowers, so I wanted to include that. So I chose this lovely 3D lily that I have here and put that together. And so it does have pop dots under there to raise it up just a little bit. I didn't want to add too much bulk, but these are made to be 3D, so I had to do it with that one. And when we left there, onto yet another church with stained glass. This is the Cathedral of the Sacred Heart, which is for the diocese of both Winona and Rochester. And it's very modern compared to the other churches that we saw. So I don't remember when this one was built, but clearly a lot more recently than the others. Still gorgeous. Look at the glass here. Again, this is what they're known for, so they might as well show it off. And then I did minimal embellishments again. Just some phrase labels, a sticker. This is an acrylic. This is this foam. No, all 3 of these are acrylic. That's right. They're from the same set. And again here, these are so busy and so detailed. I didn't want to take away from the photos themselves. And so I just did one phrase label here. That's it. These didn't need anything, I didn't think. So I didn't want to mess with them. And over here, pretty similar. I made a card with this piece of ephemera that I had, did a puffy sticker on it. One phrase, that's it, because you want the eye to go to the glass, not to the extra stuff. And then here's some more shots of the lovely colorful glass from the inside. I did another flower here. Because there was some light purple in all of these, I decided to go purple, and really I'll take any excuse to use purple in scrapbooking, so there you go. Again, I thought it made it look very pastel-y, very spring-like, and I liked that, so I went with it. And then here we were on the outside, and I found this little thing on one of the doors, and again, I thought that was just so indicative of springtime and new things blooming, and so I wanted to showcase that as well. But it didn't take much here. One acrylic piece, this is a rub-on here, this is an acetate piece. I think that's from Ellie's Studio, pretty sure. I had some from Allie Edwards too, but I don't think it's one of those. I think it's Ellie's Studio. So yay, we finally did something different. After all of those church stops, we went out to lunch. And it was a late lunch by then, because we had taken our time at all the other places. And this one I had done again for a collaboration, so this was done way before a lot of these other layouts. And I loved it because of all the bright colors. I love yellow, and so being able to use that is never a hardship for me. So it worked out here that I could do it with what I had, especially because there was a lemon in my glass. I had this card. It was just serendipity that I got to use it. And then when we were done with our lunch, we decided to go to an art museum. In Winona, they have the Minnesota Marine Art Museum, so it's all paintings, photography, exhibits that revolve around something to do with water, which I quite enjoy. And so we decided to go do that as our next stop. And only one of the exhibits at the time would allow photography. There was a Titanic exhibit, which was great, had some very interesting things, but photos were not allowed. So I don't have any of those. So this was the only one, the 20th century British master marine artist. So I have lots of ships happening here, but I pretty much love all things nautical like this, especially tall ships. So this was a great layout to put together. And then this one actually has a flip, because there were more photos to showcase and I needed extra room. Since those were the only photos I could get in the art museum, we were done there, and then it was off to this place called Pickwick Mill. And we had just seen it kind of on Google Maps, and we thought, well, what the heck is that? We're gonna go up there, because when we read the description, it said it used to be an actual working mill. And so we thought, all right, we'll go up there. It's just at the end of like this little road. There's nothing else up there really but a couple of old houses, and there isn't a lot to do. And so we just walked around and looked at it, which it was lovely outside, so that was fine. So I just have some pictures of the old mill with the little bridge across here, nice little waterfall. That was kind of it. It was just a stop to relax, catch our breath a little bit, be outside. And then we were on to the next thing, which was Great River Bluffs State Park. Again, this is another one where we just thought, well, it's on the map. None of us have ever been there. Let's give it a whirl. And I just got lucky that I had this 4x6 card. I think this was from the Project Life app, if I'm not mistaken. So I had that, and the colors worked here. These different shades of blue and bluish green. And then this tone right here went with this. This is a different yellow, but it's of the same family, so I felt like it worked. And then a little bit of orange there, so I went with an orange phrase. And we didn't spend a huge amount of time in the park. It was getting late in the day by that point, but we did want to just go to the overlook, because there was a sign saying there was this beautiful look over the river, and we thought, okay, well, if we're going to come in here, we want to see it. So we took the trail to do that, so you can kind of see it was quite wooded in there. So there we are walking along. There's a nice photo of the three of us, which I love. And I did stamping here and here. This was a blank heart. I stamped on the phrase. That was super easy. And then on this side, there's the lovely view. So it was a good payoff for going in there. And I just took a blank card, did more stamping on it. This was a chipboard heart from Ellie's Studio that happened to have trees on it, which was perfect. Simple label here, again, just a couple staples. I mean, this was not rocket science to put this together, but I love the way it looks. And then my closing page is, again, just from that overlook. It was so lovely that that was the last stop of the day. And then we were just in the car chatting on the way home. So I think it ended nicely. And this one also has a flip. All I did here was some ink splattering, just to give some of the brown tones in there. These are just stickers, phrase label. Oh, there's splattering here too, I forgot. And then a chipboard sticker. That's it. This card came like this. This was from a Cocoa Daisy kit. And I thought, well, that's perfect. It's green. It's got all the tones that I want. And it was the 1st of May, so it worked out well. So that's the entire album. So another flip book done. I'm really loving these. I love the size and the fact that it makes me think hard about what I want to include because I can't overdo it. There's only so much room in these. So now you've seen the entire Winona album. It's complete. Thanks for watching.